Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. I don't know, these episodes, I don't really know what to call these, but welcome back. And today we're going to go over Outlook. So there are a few updates within Microsoft Outlook that are, I think, worth paying attention to within this COVID and remote age. They are, the first one is every meeting is an online meeting because who meets in person these days anymore? So whereas before, when you were creating a meeting in Microsoft Outlook, you had to insert the Microsoft Teams, where then it would add the online availability. Now there's a way that you can go into Outlook that I'll show you here in a second, and you can make every single meeting an online meeting. Because again, who is setting meetings in 2021 that don't have a dial-in or are not an online meeting? Who are these people that are still going and meeting for coffee face-to-face for a business meeting somewhere? Or who is opening up their office? I don't know. At least somebody in every meeting is dialing in or is connecting through Microsoft Teams, so it's about time, Outlook. Thanks. The next one is booking time in between meetings. So this is for two different types of people, and you know who you are. The first type of person is the type of person who is late to every meeting. Next type of person is the type of person who just has too much stuff on their calendar and they want to make sure there are some buffer times. And so what this does is it sets a time between meetings to ensure that if you have back-to-back meetings that they are not going to overlap and you're going to have a little bit of a breath. So you can add a duration of time at either the beginning or the end of your meetings. That way that you're not running from meeting to meeting, hypothetically speaking, of course, because we sit in our chairs all day these days. But you can set a time of 5 to 10 minutes where you can be late by default. So I'm going to go over those and let's get started. So here I am in Microsoft Outlook Online, and I am going to go into the top right corner over here into settings. So that's this little gear thing. If you are new to 365, then the gear in the top right is your friend. It's where you're going to get a lot of the actions that, especially if you're a power user, that you'll need to go through. So if you click on this, so I am a global administrator, so I might see a little more than some of you guys, but if you click on the settings, there's a couple options that you have. You could go to dark mode, which who doesn't like dark mode? I don't know why I wasn't in dark mode to begin with, to be honest with you. I live my life in dark mode, but I guess since this is a demo environment, they didn't want to be on dark mode. There's also the focused inbox, so you'll see over here there's focused, and then there's other. If I unclick focused, then it just goes to a regular inbox, but that's not fun. I'd rather go to a focused inbox, and it pushes some of your junkier emails to the other, which is pretty cool. But we're not here for that. We're here for these all meetings are online and buffer times. So let's go into view all Outlook settings here at the very bottom. Here, you're going to have all of your different Outlook settings that you can take in, change, amend. You can set your signatures, your out of office. You can do a whole lot of stuff, but we're going to focus in on calendar for today. So we're going to go ahead and click on calendar. Now, before we get into amending the start and end, if you show your hours in 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I like to leave them in 30, but it is 30 by default, but you can change that as well. We're going to click on events and invitations, which is the second one down. It opens up default to view, but we're going to go into events and invitations. This is the area that we care about, and notice that there's really only two things here that apply to our current meeting structure. And that first one is add online meetings to all meetings. So we're going to go ahead and check that, and that will make sure that there is a Microsoft Teams invite in every meeting. So I'm going to uncheck it and show you the difference. So I'm going to open up my calendar, and I'm going to create a new event. And notice that here when it opens up, I have to physically check this mark that says Teams meeting. So I'll say, test meeting, and then this is a Microsoft Teams meeting, and then that will insert the meeting as a Teams meeting. Now, notice what just happened. There's a pop-up. Make every meeting online. So we'll go ahead and go to settings. And now it is instructing us to do that. So we'll go ahead and check that. Now, when we go back, pretty funny that the Outlook knew what we were going to do, huh? So we'll go ahead and X out of that. Now we'll go new event, and this will be turned on automatically once you add an attendee. So I actually have to meet with people in order for it to turn into a online meeting. Interesting. So let's just say we'll add some of our favorite characters, Adele, and there it is. Look at that. The check mark goes on. We have a Teams meeting by default. We'll send that bad boy out, and now we would be able to join the meeting for Microsoft Teams like a proper 2020-2021 individual. Now, there is the other thing. If you're running late, like me, I run late to a lot of different meetings, and there are certain steps you can take to make sure that you're early for meetings. So we'll go back into events and invitations, and then we can shorten duration for all events. We'll go ahead and click that, and we can add events early or start events late. I'm going to choose start events late. So what that means is the meeting will start at 5 minutes prior to whatever it is. So it's not actually starting late, it's starting on time. It's just starting late for you because you're always late. That makes sense, right? So we can say less than 1 hour. We'll say 5 minutes, 0 minutes, 5, 8, 10. We'll say 5 minutes. So that's the meeting time. If the meeting is less than an hour, we'll get 5 minutes buffer time. If it's 1 hour or longer, we'll get 10 minutes buffer time. We can bump that to 15 if we'd like to quiet our inbox, quiet our calendar, maybe give us a little more prep time for those longer meetings. So that is it. That is how you would be able to organize your Outlook to be more remote friendly. Because honestly, who is not late to online meetings, or who does not have back-to-back online meetings during this everybody's remote? Just because we're remote doesn't mean that we don't have other things to do. I do get out of this chair sometimes to walk around, get some water, high-five my kids, do all that sort of stuff, right? The same thing happened when we were going to the office. You wouldn't just sit in your desk all day. You'd get up, walk around, maybe grab a water bottle, say hi to your fellow employees, talk about things, maybe steal candy off of certain people's desks. I don't know. But we all got up and walked around, and we had that buffer time in between meetings because we knew that we physically had to walk, take an elevator, use the stairs, whatever it was, in order to get to the next meeting. So you're not cheating the system here. Don't feel like you're having to cheat anything here. You're simply adding in some time where it'll give you that opportunity to get to these meetings on time so that you're not having back-to-back online meetings. So that's what it is. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to learn anything else about Outlook or Microsoft 365 updates, this was a part of the newest 365 update. Please hit those in the comments, like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, see ya.